royal life has always been a delicate balance of tradition, power, and public image. It's a world where every gesture and title carries immense significance, often concealing intricate power dynamics behind a polished facade. In recent months, Buckingham Palace has become the stage for an unexpected drama, one that even seasoned royal observers could hardly have foreseen. The spotlight has fallen on Queen Camilla, whose elevation from queen consort to simply queen was expected to mark a crowning moment in her journey within the monarchy. Yet, instead of securing her place as a central figure in the royal hierarchy, the move seems to have set the stage for an unforeseen shift in power, leaving her influence more diminished than ever. The announcement of Camilla's new title was widely anticipated as a moment of triumph. For decades, she had been a polarizing figure, often viewed through the lens of her complicated past with King Charles and her position in the shadow of Princess Diana's enduring legacy. To many, her new title symbolized a full acceptance within the royal fold, a final validation of her years of dedication to the crown and her position by Charles's side. This moment wasn't merely ceremonial for Camilla. It carried deep personal significance. Having long been perceived as an outsider, the title of queen was meant to cement her influence within the inner workings of the monarchy. However, what followed was not the narrative of empowerment and validation that Camilla had envisioned. Despite her promotion in title, her role within the royal framework began to shift dramatically. Key responsibilities and positions of influence that she had assumed would accompany her new status were instead entrusted to Prince William and Princess Catherine. This bold move by King Charles sent ripples through the palace, signaling a potential realignment of power that left Camilla feeling sidelined. One of the most striking developments was William's assumption of the Scottish titles, roles that held deep personal and historical significance for King Charles. At the same time, the Prince and Princess of Wales were positioned at the forefront of the monarchy's public image, leading national conversations and embodying the future of the royal family. This shift in focus towards the younger generation underscored a strategic decision by Charles to modernize the monarchy, ensuring its relevance and continuity. Yet, it also raised pressing questions. Had Camilla's elevation been more symbolic than substantive? Was this an intentional move to quietly diminish her influence while appearing to honor her with a prestigious title? For Camilla, the realization was disheartening. After years of working to gain public acceptance and establish her role, she found herself increasingly marginalized. The central roles she had hoped to embrace were now occupied by William and Catherine, leaving her influence over decision-making and royal strategy significantly reduced. What had initially seemed like a moment of triumph began to feel like a veiled demotion, a symbolic gesture that masked a deeper restructuring within the monarchy. This power shift has not only reshaped Camilla's standing, but also sent ripples across the royal family and the public. Behind the palace walls, the dynamics of authority and influence appear to be undergoing a profound transformation. The deliberate elevation of William and Catherine signals a clear intent to prepare them as the future faces of the monarchy, while Camilla's sidelining raises questions about her role and relevance moving forward. As royal watchers and the public alike try to decipher the implications of these changes, the narrative around Queen Camilla's journey is being redefined. Once viewed as a figure striving for acceptance and legitimacy, she now finds herself navigating a monarchy that appears to be moving in a direction where her influence may be more limited than ever. This unfolding drama not only sheds light on the evolving power dynamics within Buckingham Palace, but also hints at a broader strategy to position the younger generation as the future of the British monarchy. In a world where perception is everything, Camilla's symbolic promotion could very well be a strategic realignment that redefines the very fabric of royal life. The title of Queen, which should have symbolized Camilla's ultimate triumph after decades of struggle and controversy, came to feel hollow in its substance. While it was a ceremonial milestone, the lack of influence and authority accompanying the title left Camilla feeling sidelined. The power she had expected to wield as queen did not materialize. Instead, King Charles made the unprecedented decision to entrust many key duties and responsibilities to Prince William and Princess Catherine. This abrupt shift in the distribution of royal power raised significant questions. Why would King Charles marginalize his wife at the moment she had seemingly secured her place in the monarchy? Was this move made to appease the younger generation, Or was it a calculated strategy to ensure the monarchy's longevity under William and Catherine's leadership? These decisions, while forward-looking, left Camilla navigating a new and unfamiliar role, and tensions within the royal family began to simmer. Camilla's journey to becoming queen was anything but smooth. Her past as the other woman during Charles and Diana's tumultuous marriage subjected her to decades of public scrutiny. She was the target of relentless tabloid attacks, portrayed as a homewrecker responsible for one of the most infamous royal breakups in history. Her presence in Charles's life was seen as controversial, and for years, she was widely despised by the public. Yet, rather than fighting these narratives openly, Camilla adopted a strategy of quiet resilience. She worked diligently behind the scenes, taking on low-profile but meaningful charitable roles and carefully orchestrating public appearances to rebuild her image. Over time, her efforts began to pay off. The public softened its view of her, and by the time Charles ascended the throne, Camilla had transitioned from being a polarizing figure to one who was more broadly accepted. Her elevation to queen consort in 2022 was celebrated as a moment of redemption. It was seen as a symbol of the monarchy's ability to move beyond past scandals and embrace reconciliation. For Camilla, it was deeply personal, a culmination of years of effort to prove herself worthy of her place by Charles's side. However, the realities of her new position quickly diverged from her expectations. In royal history, queens have often shared in the monarch's duties, wielding influence in both public and private spheres. Yet, for Camilla, these traditional responsibilities were noticeably absent. Instead, they were reassigned to Prince William and Princess Catherine, signaling a shift in focus towards the younger generation. The message was clear. The future of the monarchy no longer revolved around Camilla. This decision left Camilla in a vulnerable position. The image she had painstakingly built over the years now seemed threatened as her role was diminished. Simultaneously, William and Catherine stepped into the spotlight with increasing prominence. The young couple emerged as the new face of the monarchy, embodying a modern and relatable royal family that resonated deeply with the public. Their roles have expanded significantly, with both taking on high-profile duties at home and abroad. For Camilla, this rise represented a stark contrast to her own reduced presence within the royal framework. William and Catherine's popularity has only grown over the years. Catherine, in particular, has become a global icon, admired for her elegant fashion choices, hands-on parenting style, and commitment to meaningful charitable endeavors. Her relatability and ability to connect with people have earned her widespread acclaim. Meanwhile, William's steady leadership and clear sense of duty have solidified his image as a future king who will uphold the monarchy's traditions while guiding it into a new era. Together, they represent a dynamic duo, seamlessly balancing their personal lives with the demands of their royal roles. For Camilla, the prominence of William and Catherine presents a double-edged sword. On one hand, she recognizes the importance of their roles in securing the monarchy's future. Their popularity has breathed new life into the institution, ensuring its relevance in a rapidly changing world. On the other hand, their dominance in the public eye serves as a reminder of her diminished influence and limited role within the monarchy. Despite her years of work to rebuild her image and secure her place, the spotlight has moved decisively away from her and toward the younger generation. As the monarchy continues to evolve, Camilla finds herself navigating an increasingly complex and precarious position. Her journey from vilified outsider to queen was meant to symbolize acceptance and triumph. Instead, it has underscored the shifting priorities within the royal family, with the focus firmly placed on William and Catherine as the future of the institution. This unexpected turn of events raises questions not just about Camilla's place in the royal hierarchy, but also about the monarchy's broader strategy for adapting to the demands of the modern world. For Camilla, the challenge now lies in reconciling her personal aspirations with the reality of her new, more symbolic role in an ever-changing royal landscape. The growing prominence of Prince William and Princess Catherine has become a defining factor in the monarchy's effort to remain relevant in the 21st century. Their popularity, which bridges the gap between royal tradition and modern values, has made them invaluable to the royal family. Catherine's relatability and approachability, combined with William's steadfastness and sense of duty, have endeared them to a global audience. However, Their rise has inadvertently cast a shadow over Queen Camilla's role, leaving her feeling increasingly marginalized. The very duties Camilla had hoped to assume as queen, acting as a key public representative of the monarchy and wielding influence over significant royal decisions, are now absorbed by the younger couple. This shift in focus has left Camilla questioning not only her relevance, but also her position in a monarchy that seems to be building its future entirely around William and Catherine. For Camilla, this sidelining is deeply personal. Having worked for decades to establish her place within the royal family, she now faces the uncomfortable reality of being bypassed. The situation raises fundamental questions. Does Camilla hold any real authority behind the scenes, or has her title of queen become a largely ceremonial role? Is she destined to be a figurehead, or will she find a way to assert her presence and carve out a meaningful role in a monarchy that appears to be evolving without her at its center? These questions point to a deeper tension within the royal institution as it balances the demands of tradition with the need for modernization. Adding to this challenge are the long-standing tensions between Queen Camilla and Princess Catherine. Though the two women present a united front in public, rumors of a strained relationship have persisted for years. Camilla, with her aristocratic roots and traditional outlook on royal life, reportedly harbored doubts about Catherine from the very beginning of her relationship with William. Catherine's middle-class background, while celebrated by the public as a refreshing break from aristocratic norms, was seen by Camilla as a potential liability. Early in William and Catherine's relationship, Camilla is said to have expressed concerns about Catherine's suitability as a future queen, fearing that her lack of aristocratic pedigree might undermine the monarchy's traditions. These misgivings were so pronounced that some accounts suggest Camilla played a role in William and Catherine's brief breakup in 2007. Whether or not these rumors hold weight, they highlight the underlying complexities of Camilla's relationship with Catherine. While Catherine's eventual return to William's life and her subsequent rise within the royal family have silenced much of the criticism, the echoes of this early tension have never fully disappeared. Over time, Catherine has not only proved herself as a fitting partner for William, but has also emerged as one of the most celebrated members of the royal family. Her grace, charm, and ability to maintain an impeccable public image have solidified her as an icon both within and outside the UK. Her role as a hands-on mother and a champion of various charitable causes has further endeared her to the public. Catherine's every move, from her fashion choices to her parenting style, is widely admired, and her steady ascent in royal life has made her an indispensable part of the monarchy's future. In contrast, Camilla has struggled to achieve the same level of affection and admiration. While she has worked hard to rebuild her image after years of scandal and vilification, she has never fully escaped the shadow of her past. Her efforts to establish herself as a compassionate and capable royal figure have been overshadowed by Catherine's natural ability to captivate both the public and the press. This dynamic has created an undercurrent of rivalry between the two women, though it is rarely acknowledged publicly. Recent developments have further strained this already complicated relationship. Catherine's expanding role within the monarchy, particularly in representing the royal family on high-profile occasions, has pushed Camilla further to the margins. Where Camilla might have hoped to take on more central responsibilities following her promotion to queen, she has instead watched Catherine flourish in roles she herself had envisioned occupying. The younger couple's increasing prominence highlights a stark contrast. Catherine embodies the monarchy's future, beloved, respected, and integral, while Camilla struggles to secure her own place in this evolving framework. For Camilla, Catherine represents a bittersweet reality. On one hand, she can appreciate Catherine's contributions to the monarchy and the stability she brings as a future queen consort. On the other, Catherine's widespread popularity and her integral role in the institution serve as a reminder of the influence Camilla has yet to secure. This contrast has only deepened Camilla's sense of displacement and vulnerability, as the spotlight moves firmly away from her and toward the younger generation. As the monarchy continues to adapt to the demands of the modern world, Camilla faces an uphill battle. Her sidelining is not just a reflection of the royal family's strategic decisions, but also a symptom of a broader shift in public perception. While William and Catherine represent a monarchy that is dynamic, relatable, and future-focused, Camilla's role has been reduced to a symbolic presence, leaving her struggling to reconcile her aspirations with the reality of her diminished influence. Her journey from scandal to redemption now appears incomplete, as she contends with a monarchy that is evolving in ways that leave her increasingly on the periphery. In a world where public perception defines success, Camilla's challenge lies in finding a way to assert herself in a royal landscape that seems to be moving forward without her. As the younger woman's star continues to rise, Queen Camilla finds herself increasingly pondering her place within the evolving royal hierarchy. While both women are unlikely to ever publicly acknowledge their tensions, royal insiders suggest that their relationship has grown more strained over time. For Camilla, being overshadowed by her daughter-in-law, Princess Catherine, serves as yet another painful reminder that her hard-fought journey to the throne has not yielded the influence she once envisioned. At the heart of this dynamic lies King Charles's vision for a modernized monarchy. Throughout his life, Charles has been characterized as an unconventional royal, one who has often challenged traditional norms. From his impassioned advocacy for environmental causes to his outspoken views on modern architecture, Charles has demonstrated a willingness to push the boundaries of what it means to be a monarch. Now, as king, he faces the challenge of ensuring the monarchy's survival in an increasingly modern and fast-paced world. The British monarchy, one of the oldest institutions in the world, is deeply rooted in centuries of tradition. Yet, in a rapidly evolving society, tradition alone no longer guarantees public support. Charles understands this reality and recognizes the need for the monarchy to adapt in order to remain relevant. Central to this transformation are Prince William and Princess Catherine. Their ability to connect with younger generations and present the monarchy in a modern, relatable light has made them indispensable to Charles's strategy. By delegating greater responsibilities to the younger couple, Charles is not only preparing for a seamless transition of power, but also capitalizing on their widespread appeal to reinforce public trust in the royal family. This strategic shift has, however, come at a significant personal cost for Camilla. While she understands the importance of modernizing the monarchy, she has struggled to accept her diminished role in this vision. As queen, Camilla anticipated a position of greater authority and influence. Instead, she has found herself eclipsed by the rising prominence of William and Catherine, whose growing roles symbolize the monarchy's future. Camilla, in many ways, represents the values of the old monarchy, a system deeply rooted in tradition, duty, and hierarchy. Yet the royal family's move toward a new era, focused on relatability and modernity, has left her grappling with a sense of displacement. Reconciling her expectations with the reality of her role has proven increasingly challenging for her, as she watches her carefully earned position within the royal fold shift to the younger generation. This struggle is more than just a professional setback for Camilla. It is a deeply personal one. Her journey to the throne has been marked by relentless perseverance, overcoming years of public scorn, enduring scrutiny, and navigating a royal world that once seemed intent on keeping her at arm's length. For Camilla, the strain of being sidelined feels like a dismissal of the immense effort she has invested in securing her place within the monarchy. The weight of these frustrations lies just beneath the surface, creating a silent tension that defines her role in a family and an institution increasingly focused on looking forward, rather than honoring its past. The intricate dynamics within the royal family have always been a source of speculation and fascination, and for Queen Camilla, these complexities have presented particularly personal and painful challenges. Despite decades of effort to prove herself, Camilla had long envisioned her role as queen to be the culmination of her hard-fought journey, a moment where she would finally wield the authority and recognition that seemed to elude her for much of her life. However, her reality as queen has proven to be far removed from the role she imagined. Instead of emerging as a key figure in King Charles's reign, she finds herself in a position where her influence is limited and her contributions increasingly overshadowed. In public, Camilla carries herself with the poise and grace expected of a royal, maintaining a dignified facade. Her composed demeanor suggests that she is firmly entrenched in her role, yet those closest to her paint a different picture. Behind the palace walls, she is said to be grappling with deep frustration and a growing sense of marginalization. The responsibilities she had once anticipated with her promotion, those tied to shaping the monarchy's future, have instead been entrusted to others, particularly to Prince William and Princess Catherine. This delegation of duties has left Camilla feeling as though her voice within the monarchy's decision-making process has been muted, relegating her to a ceremonial role rather than one of true influence. What intensifies this struggle is the enduring perception of her past. Despite officially holding the title of queen, much of the public continues to view her through the shadow of her involvement in the highly publicized breakdown of Charles and Diana's marriage. The decades-old scandal still colors the way many perceive her, overshadowing her contributions and efforts to reform her image. This inability to fully shed the stigma of her past has been a source of deep frustration for Camilla. While she has worked tirelessly to prove herself worthy of her title, the public's lingering doubts have left her feeling undervalued and unacknowledged. This sense of exclusion extends beyond public opinion to the inner workings of the royal family itself. Insiders suggest that Camilla feels betrayed by how her role has unfolded since Charles ascended the throne. She had envisioned herself as a key partner in his reign, actively participating in decisions and playing a pivotal role in upholding the monarchy's traditions and values. Yet, instead of stepping into a position of shared authority, she finds herself increasingly sidelined. Watching as William and Catherine ascend in prominence has only deepened her feelings of irrelevance. The younger couple has seamlessly taken on many of the responsibilities Camilla once hoped would define her time as queen, stepping into the roles of modernizers and standard-bearers for the monarchy's future. For Camilla, this situation represents more than just a loss of influence. It is a profound loss of purpose. Her entire journey to the throne has been marked by perseverance and resilience. She has endured years of public scrutiny, rebuilt her reputation, and navigated the labyrinth of royal expectations, all while quietly preparing for the day she would ascend alongside Charles. Yet now, in what should be the pinnacle of her royal career, she finds herself struggling to reconcile her dreams with the reality of her diminished role. As Charles continues to place greater trust in William and Catherine, Camilla feels increasingly left behind. The younger couple's ability to connect with modern audiences and project an image of a relatable, forward-thinking monarchy has secured their place as the faces of the institution's future. Meanwhile, Camilla remains tied to the traditions of the past, a stark contrast that highlights her difficulty in finding her footing within a rapidly evolving royal landscape. Adding to her isolation is the growing rift within the royal family. While the outward appearance of harmony is carefully maintained, tensions behind closed doors reveal the strain of competing priorities and personalities. Camilla's private struggles are compounded by this environment, where her ambitions are quietly set aside in favor of ensuring a smooth transition to the younger generation. Her position has left her questioning not only her role in the monarchy, but also her legacy. Will she be remembered as a queen who rose to prominence despite her controversial beginnings, or as one who was overshadowed by the very figures tasked with securing the monarchy's future? For now, Camilla continues to navigate her path with the resilience that has defined her journey, even as the institution she serves moves forward, leaving her place within it uncertain and unresolved. The rift within the royal family has grown increasingly pronounced as shifting power dynamics test the delicate balance of relationships. King Charles's decision to entrust greater responsibility to Prince William and Princess Catherine has not only caused tension with Queen Camilla, but has also sent ripples through the entire royal household. Insiders suggest that Camilla is feeling more isolated than ever, her role gradually becoming more symbolic than substantive. These changes have sparked quiet unrest within the palace walls, raising significant questions about the monarchy's future. Camilla's marginalization has led to speculation about fractures within the royal household. Reports suggest tensions between her and William have been simmering for some time, particularly as he assumes a more prominent role in royal governance. This growing divide between the older and younger generations has fueled rumors of deeper unrest. Whispers of a possible rift have even extended to speculative talk of a divorce between Charles and Camilla, though such claims remain unsubstantiated. Nonetheless, these rumors highlight the complexity of the current situation, adding fuel to an already tense atmosphere. Recent reports have suggested that Camilla's exclusion from key royal matters may have reached a tipping point. Some palace insiders believe that if the balance of power continues to shift toward William and Catherine, it could lead to a permanent division within the royal family. This possibility underscores the mounting instability within the monarchy, raising questions about Camilla's future. Will she manage to regain her influence, or will she be forced to accept a more symbolic role as the younger royals take control? For Camilla, the uncertainty surrounding her future weighs heavily. She cannot ignore the factors of her husband's age and health, both of which cast a shadow over the years ahead. As Charles continues to age, the possibility of William and Catherine assuming even more significant responsibilities looms large. While Charles remains in good health, it is clear that the monarchy is being steadily reoriented around William and Catherine. This strategic positioning leaves Camilla in an ambiguous and increasingly vulnerable position. Should Charles face health challenges or choose to step down in the future, Camilla's role could diminish even further. The younger generation's growing influence extends beyond their public-facing duties. They are also becoming more involved in internal decision-making. For Camilla, this not only represents a loss of authority, but also an existential challenge to her place within the royal family. As the focus continues to shift toward William and Catherine, Camilla is left to navigate an uncertain path, her legacy and influence hanging precariously in the balance. As the monarchy continues to evolve, Camilla finds herself facing a complex and emotionally charged dilemma. Having worked tirelessly to earn the respect and position that comes with the title of queen, she now realizes that her role may not be as influential as she had once hoped. The shifts in power dynamics, particularly with William and Catherine assuming a more prominent role in both public and private matters, have left her feeling sidelined. She had long envisioned herself playing an active role in shaping the future of the monarchy, influencing royal decisions, and fulfilling a leadership role befitting her status as queen. However, the reality of her position has been marked by a quieter, more symbolic presence, with the younger generation assuming many of the responsibilities that Camilla had hoped would define her reign. This discrepancy between expectation and reality is particularly poignant for Camilla because her journey to the throne has been fraught with challenges. From the early days of public scrutiny and media vilification, to the slow and steady work of rebuilding her reputation and winning the approval of the British public, Camilla has fought hard for her place within the royal family. She weathered the storms of scandal, primarily centered around her relationship with Charles and the breakdown of his marriage to Princess Diana. Despite these early challenges, she had managed to reshape her image, emphasizing her charitable work, her dedication to family, and her resilience in the face of public criticism. Her promotion to Queen Consort in 2022 was seen as a moment of redemption, a chance to prove that the monarchy had moved past its earlier controversies. Yet, as the months have passed, her expectations for greater influence have not materialized, leaving her to confront the possibility that her role will remain primarily ceremonial. One of the central struggles for Camilla is the tension between the monarchy's historical traditions and the pressing need for modernization. The British monarchy is one of the oldest institutions in the world, and while it is deeply rooted in tradition, it must also adapt to survive in the modern world. King Charles, who has long been viewed as a more progressive and unconventional royal figure, has recognized this need for change. His decision to place greater responsibility on William and Catherine reflects his vision of a monarchy that must connect with younger generations and stay relevant in an increasingly fast-paced world. By delegating key duties to William and Catherine, Charles is positioning them as the faces of a future monarchy that is more relatable, approachable, and in tune with public sentiment. For Camilla, this shift represents not just a professional setback, but a deeply personal one. She has spent years positioning herself within the monarchy, expecting that her promotion to queen would bring with it a seat at the table in terms of royal decision-making. Instead, she finds herself overshadowed by William and Catherine, whose growing popularity and public presence continue to eclipse her own. While Camilla understands the necessity of modernizing the monarchy, the cost to her personal aspirations is undeniable. She has always valued tradition, and as a product of the old royal order, she is finding it difficult to reconcile her place within the new, evolving structure. The monarchy's future is now being shaped by the younger generation, leaving Camilla to question where she fits in and whether there is still a meaningful role for her. The emotional toll of these dynamics is significant. Despite maintaining a dignified and composed public appearance, those close to Camilla report that she feels marginalized, frustrated, and betrayed by the way her position has unfolded. Her voice, which she had hoped would carry weight within royal decision-making, has become quieter. Her dreams of reshaping the monarchy from within seem increasingly distant as the younger couple takes on more responsibility and influence. This sense of loss is not just about power. It is about purpose. Camilla had believed that her title as queen would allow her to help define the future of the monarchy, but instead, she is finding herself on the periphery. The tension between Camilla and the younger royals, particularly William and Catherine, has only intensified as their roles continue to expand. While no public rift has emerged, insiders suggest that the relationship between the two generations is increasingly strained. William and Catherine's rise has not only overshadowed Camilla but has also highlighted the generational divide within the royal family. The younger couple's approachability and modernity resonate with the public, while Camilla's more traditional, aristocratic background feels out of step with the monarchy's evolving image. This growing divide has led to speculation that the monarchy could be heading toward a more significant fracture, with the older and younger generations unable to find common ground on how to move forward. This rift has fueled rumors, particularly about the future of Charles and Camilla's relationship. Some speculate about the possibility of a divorce, although no such thing is officially confirmed. These whispers add another layer of complexity to the already fragile situation within the royal family. As tensions rise, insiders suggest that if the power shift continues and Camilla remains sidelined, it could lead to an irreversible division within the family. The uncertainty surrounding the monarchy's future and Camilla's role within it grows with each passing day. As King Charles ages and his health remains a concern, the reality of a future with William and Catherine at the helm becomes increasingly likely. Camilla, once at the center of the royal family, now faces the possibility of further diminishment as the younger generation takes on greater responsibilities. With Charles's health potentially declining in the future, Camilla's role could become even more symbolic, with little room for influence or decision-making. This leaves her to confront the painful reality that her position, which she had worked so hard to attain, may no longer hold the weight or significance she had hoped for. As the monarchy moves toward this inevitable generational transition, Camilla must come to terms with the possibility that her time in the spotlight may be fleeting. While she hoped to be remembered as a pivotal figure in Charles's reign, she now faces the looming question of whether she will be overshadowed by the younger couple. This struggle between the role she imagined for herself and the reality of her position is a deeply personal one. For Camilla, the future remains uncertain, and she must decide whether to continue fighting for influence or to accept the reality that tradition has already defined her place within the royal family. The emotional toll of Camilla's sidelining is one of the most challenging and deeply personal aspects of her current role as queen. Over the years, she has weathered countless trials, from public scandals and relentless media criticism to the constant and often unfair comparisons to Princess Diana. Despite these public hardships, Camilla always believed that, at some point, her perseverance would be rewarded. She saw her ascension to the title of queen as the ultimate recognition, a symbol of her determination, her loyalty to Charles, and her ability to withstand the scrutiny of the public eye. However, as responsibilities she once hoped to undertake are increasingly delegated to William and Catherine, she finds herself feeling marginalized and overlooked. This shift is not just professional. It strikes at her sense of identity and purpose. For someone who has worked tirelessly to be seen as more than just a supporting figure, the reality of her diminished influence is painful and difficult to bear. Beyond the professional frustrations, there is a personal element to Camilla's struggle that cannot be ignored. The relationship between her and Charles has always been complicated, shaped by years of public scrutiny, personal challenges, and the deep and persistent shadow cast by his first marriage. Their relationship has never been easy, and the strain of it has been evident in many ways. While Camilla has worked tirelessly to build a strong public persona, that effort has come at a personal cost. Now, as Charles leans increasingly on William and Catherine, Camilla cannot help but feel excluded, not just from the family but from the monarchy's future trajectory. Charles's strategic decisions have left Camilla questioning not only her place within the royal family but also her place in their marriage. This sense of exclusion is compounded by the knowledge that the royal family's future is no longer centered around her, but rather the younger generation. As Charles continues to step back from day-to-day duties, leaving more responsibilities to William and Catherine, Camilla is confronted with the reality that her role within the monarchy may only become more ceremonial. For someone who had spent years preparing herself for a position of greater power and influence, this realization is a bitter pill to swallow. She had long envisioned a future where she played a central role in shaping the monarchy, but the reality has proven quite different. Instead of becoming a key decision-maker, she finds herself increasingly sidelined, watching as the younger royals step into roles that she once thought would be hers. This shift has taken an emotional toll on Camilla. It's not just about the loss of power. It's about the sense of being rendered irrelevant in the very institution she has devoted her life to. Camilla's struggle is not just professional. It cuts to the heart of her identity. She had worked so hard to be recognized, to be accepted, and to make her own mark on history. But now, she faces the very real possibility that her legacy will be shaped not by her actions, but by the actions of those who have come after her. This is a deeply unsettling prospect, and it leaves her in a constant state of emotional turmoil. As the monarchy faces the inevitable transition of power, Camilla's future becomes more uncertain. King Charles, at 75, is in the later stages of his life. While he remains relatively healthy, the inevitability of aging looms large. The possibility that his health may begin to decline at any time has added another layer of anxiety for Camilla as she contemplates what role, if any, she will play in the future. Should Charles's health deteriorate, it is likely that William and Catherine will assume even greater responsibilities, not just in public appearances, but in the very governance of the monarchy. This could further diminish Camilla's influence and role within the royal family. The uncertainty surrounding Charles's health and the future of the monarchy has made Camilla's position more precarious than ever before. While she may continue to hold the title of queen, the power within the family is increasingly shifting to the younger generation. William and Catherine have captured the public's imagination with their ability to connect with younger generations and their modern approach to royal duties. This has made them key figures in the monarchy's future. King Charles, despite his efforts to maintain a balance, appears determined to position them at the center of the institution's future. For Camilla, this is a constant reminder that her role is increasingly peripheral. This looming transition of power raises many questions about what Camilla's future holds. Will she continue to fight for a more significant role, or will she accept a more symbolic position within the royal family? As the younger royals gain more prominence, Camilla's place becomes less certain. The prospect of her being relegated to a ceremonial role has become all too real. The question of whether she will be able to retain any real influence within the monarchy is one that weighs heavily on her. Will she carve out a more meaningful position for herself in the coming years, or will she be pushed to the sidelines? Adding to this sense of uncertainty is the looming question of what will happen should Charles face health challenges or step down from the throne. If this happens, Camilla's role could be drastically redefined. Would she continue to hold her title, or would she be stripped of her influence entirely? Would she be left to fulfill the same largely ceremonial role as many other consorts, with little say in the matters of the monarchy? These are questions that Camilla must face as she looks to the future with a mixture of trepidation and resolve. Breaking her silence about these challenges, Camilla has publicly expressed her frustrations, revealing a side of her that was previously hidden behind a reserved and cautious demeanor. This marks a rare shift in her public persona. Traditionally, Camilla has kept a low profile, remaining supportive and largely silent in the background. However, with the growing influence of William and Catherine and her increasingly sidelined role, she has decided to speak up. Through carefully crafted public appearances and statements, Camilla has made it clear that while she may be marginalized, she is not invisible. Her words are subtle, yet they carry a strong message. She has fought for her position and is not ready to fade into obscurity. Despite this, it remains unclear whether her words will be enough to shift the balance of power. Camilla's breaking of her silence represents a turning point in the royal family's dynamics, but whether it will have a lasting impact on the monarchy's future is uncertain. As William and Catherine continue to take on more responsibilities, Camilla must confront the reality that her role may never again be what she envisioned. The road ahead for her is fraught with challenges, and the uncertainty surrounding her future continues to grow. In this moment of profound change, the future of the British monarchy remains an open question. Camilla's place within it is anything but certain. The monarchy is clearly evolving, and the younger generation is quickly becoming the focal point of its future. For Camilla, the question is whether she will accept her role as more symbolic or whether she will fight to carve out a new space for herself within the changing royal landscape. More than that, there is the question of how her relationship with Charles will evolve as they both navigate these shifts. What is clear, however, is that the events of recent months have forever altered the balance of power within the royal family. Camilla's legacy will be shaped not only by the title of queen, but by how she chooses to navigate the challenges ahead. This story is far from over, and the monarchy's next chapter is still being written. As the monarchy modernizes, Camilla's role and place within it will continue to unfold. The question now is, how will she adapt to these changes, and what will her place in the new royal order be? Only time will tell.